but we'll be getting back shortly. Um, so yeah, going through it alone sucks, and um, I realized then how much I did not like it, and how much I really prayed then. And I was like, God, I need you to. I was like, God, something got to change. 'Cause I don't like this feeling. I don't really want to do it like this. Now, this is my heart's desire. This is something that um, I personally want. And so, um, yeah, it's not a, for me, it's not a nice feeling, right? I'm not, I think because my heart desires marriage so much. Mind you, it's not my only focus. Um, if you know, if you know me, I am a entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. I'm still writing my books, and um, so I'm trying to. Got a lot going on. However, I still want my boo. Right? There's nothing wrong with wanting that significant other. But let me be clear. Just want a significant other, husband, my husband, my husband. Right? And so I think when we say the vows in sickness and in health, most of the time we're just thinking about the health part. Nobody's thinking that sickness might actually happen. And sometimes sickness is not just physical, sickness is mental. What happens if that person gets Alzheimer's or dementia? What happens if that person has, you know, they get depressed? What happens if your wife gets postpartum depression after having first child or the second or the third or the fourth or however many children? Are you still going to be there? Can you thug it out? Can you fight for your love? Can you fight for marriage? And so when we say in sickness and in health, we also gotta when we say in sickness and in health, we also gotta remember that sometimes it's not just a physical thing, right? And are you really willing to? Are you prepared to endure if it means you have to now take care of your spouse? If it means you now have to be their caregiver? Um, a lot of us don't understand what sickness and health really means. If you then have to fight for them because their mental isn't where it used to be. So it's a lot when it comes to sickness and health. And I've been experiencing that lately. Not the mental part, Jesus. But I realized that I don't want to do it alone. I don't like it. It sucks. It's for me. This is for Tasha. Um, but yeah, social media. See if mic is working.
Can you hear me? I was sharing with Pastor Ruth and Kawana and E that um, when someone is not feeling well, it's not just necessarily the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that they don't have a mate. Can you hear me? She
So man,
cannot
I
hear
can't.
me. Yeah, so I was sharing that it's not because you don't have a mate. It may necessarily mean, could possibly mean that you're not feeling well. You know, when you're not feeling well, you encounter all kind of unrest, duress, and especially if the individual isn't having chronic
Sound like
pain.
you talking a lot, but I can't hear nothing you saying, Shaman. Hold on. I'm trying to get on. To hear me, to hear what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying. So what I was talking about, if you hear me, is that I was saying that when you stick as somebody who works in the health field, it's not necessarily having somebody, it's also being able to having not just a person being your husband or your advocate. So it's also the fact that when you're not feeling well, everything is all the feeling you have in your body is exacerbated, all the emotion is exacerbated. And I was sharing about I worked with this individual that was in chronic pain and how for 6 weeks I would allow him to play classical music. I would have him talk while I'm doing the work, and partly because he was lonely. That level of compassion was able to help him get through. And I shared that God has given me an excessive amount of grace when I'm in a clinical setting for individuals who are sick, so that when they'll say words that are not acceptable, including cussing me out, I don't really take it personal. I will take it personal from you, and I'll be upset, I'll be hurt. But when it's somebody that's sick, in my mind is when you're not feeling well, it's different. Is you going, and because of that, I've been able one time got a consult, not for food, but share Christ, because they couldn't get a chaplain, and the person wanted to talk about Christ. And when I walked in, he said, "Oh, that's so sweet. Not only do you know how to talk to me about what I like, but you could talk to me about Christ." So to me, I think that it's just a level of compassion that we need to have when an individual not feeling well. So you could have a husband that go to the hospital with you. I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you a story. My uncle went to the hospital with my auntie. He was in such panicking state, he could hear anything the doctor was saying about his wife. So I had to sit there, take the note, ask the questions, and I was asking what kind of chemotherapy we should need, what kind of radiation, what do we need to do. And it wasn't until we get out of the outside the hospital we finished getting the whole information from the oncologist. He was like, "What did he say? What did he say? What did he talk about?" And he got his senses because he was panicking over his wife. My brother-in-law, my sister was in labor. He was just back and forth, didn't know what to do. I was in the room helping deliver my niece. What I'm saying is, when you're not feeling well, what you need is somebody that's going to be able to have no problem cleaning you up, has no problem feeding you, has no problem taking care of you. You know, as somebody who was a home aide, that's how I pay for college, y'all. I work as a older folks to pay for college, so I'm able to do it. But regular adults, that's why Pastor Rose is still working in me. That's why she prayed for me on a regular basis. My mic. Go ahead, Natasha. Shaman, you're hilarious. Um, so wait, can y'all hear me on Clubhouse now? Okay, because I'm still on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm like doubling this thing now. Um, I get it. Um, I get what you're saying, Shaman. And I guess because my mom was a nurse, right? And so the way she taught me was I'm usually the person that people are, Taja, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, but I'll find out. Like I'm the person they want to go to the ER because I'm the one that gets, get the nurses and get the doctors to hurry up and explain themselves, and I'm that person. And I guess sometimes when you're always that person, you want somebody to be that person for you, right? And I don't know, I just felt like these past 2, 3 weeks, I was like, I don't feel like being here alone. I don't want to come here alone. Um, I was just, the devil. I was just over it. I'm gonna be honest. I was just over the whole single everything. I was like, I want somebody to come take care of me while I'm laid up in my bed, sick and coughing, snotting, and all this other stuff. Come take care of me, please. Because I didn't feel like taking care of myself. And I was just, I don't know. You know how you have your moments as single people? You have our moments when somebody come hurry up and wife me up, please. Because, you know, look, I'm over it. And I was just having, I had 2, 3 weeks of that moment. And that was me. Um, that's my honesty. I'm over it. So over it. Um, I'm still over it now. Let me be clear. I'm not over that feeling yet. I am still in the middle of it. And being in the middle of it, I am I was really thinking about this and sickness and in health thing because I'm like, can I love somebody so much that God forbid, not even the physical aspect of it all? What happens if somewhere down the road, I'm not claiming it, God knows, Jesus, I come against all of that right now for me and my husband and our kids and future generations. However, if somewhere in God's plan, somebody has postpartum depression, somebody gets Alzheimer's or dementia, um, are you gonna love that person through that? One of my favorite movies was The Notebook, right? And if you never watched The Notebook, please watch it. I love that movie. I cried so hard in that movie. Jesus Christmas. Um, it's such a love story. Uh, to try to sum it up, if you didn't catch on somewhere in the middle of the movie, you definitely caught it at the end, where the husband, the purpose of the notebook is that the husband is writing all of their stories because the wife has Alzheimer's or dementia. She doesn't really remember everything, except when he comes and starts reading the notebook back to her, then it starts clicking. Then she could be in the moment for a couple of minutes. And then after, like the moment comes, then she'll slip back. But it's a beautiful love story. So that kind of love, I was like, Lord, do I have the capacity to love somebody like that? Do I have the capacity? Does somebody have the capacity to love me like that? And so sickness and health isn't always a physical thing, it's a mental thing sometimes too. Can you fight for your love? Mental for your love. If it's not, even if it's something you can't see physically, I'll yield. Somebody else can talk. Again, I want to go back to the fact
somebody that's in the HIV unit.
Speak up, Shaman. Shaman, you got
Being
something. There you
displayed.
go.
And no matter how much, believe it or not, how far gone your level of dementia is, how far along the loss, there's a love that I've seen displayed. And, I've been a dietitian for over 20 years that I've seen, like, and I'm a geriatric specialist. So let me tell you, I work with elderly population. I've seen, like, they don't remember the love, the person's face, but they'll remember the feeling of safety. So, because I have a patient that I've been seeing for about, I want to say 12 years, she started developing dementia, and I've counseled the family on how to keep her home so that way she wouldn't deteriorate. Because the more you move them, the faster they deteriorate into dementia. So she would not, she doesn't remember the son at all. She knows that I feel safe with him. I know that he's okay if I hold his hand, right? She would look at him. She said, I look, there's safety in your eyes. To me, that's like one of the most beautiful things. And no matter how sick you are, when you truly love somebody, I love the love that Christ has given you, you are able to really um, take care of that person in a way that is that's exceptional. Now, there are some drawbacks to those individuals that repress they repress it in dementia. Some aspect of that, like the feeling of safety, holding a baby because that baby I've always wanted. You see some aspect of that, but I have seen some beautiful stories. I've seen, like, like I mentioned about my auntie, they've been married for over 32 years. When he found out she had breast cancer, he was like, okay, it's time to retire. It's time for us to start loving. Now they're looking like they just met. They're holding hands, like whatever. And I think it was the the cancer that scared him, um, and they're sort of being each other again, doing stuff together again. It's almost like they discovering each all over again. I do believe there's a that's possible with somebody God has ordained for you. And I just, Natasha, I love you as a friend, and I wouldn't want you to have anybody just for the sake of having somebody. You want somebody that's going to show you compassion when you stump your toe, as well when are being difficult. So, when we talk about in sickness and in health, the whole idea of the marriage is not just the simple fact that you marry somebody you're in love. You gotta expect that there's some good, some bad, and you know what? And there's some lessons that help you to be able to do the journey together. And then I think that I've seen quite a bit of, and I've seen some sad story too where they don't have family because they didn't build relationships. They don't have friends that because they don't know. Pastor Ruth was talking about a couple of weeks ago how she prayed for her sons and even the women that they're gonna be married, and I think that's important. And the reason I say that's important, I had a patient where she had 5 sons. She was, first time she said, I want a little girl, she got a son. Second little girl, she got a son. Third, and the fifth time she said, I'm not trying anymore. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pray for my daughter-in-laws. That way, if my son can't deal with my illness, my daughter-in-law will love me like a mother, and they'll be able to do it. And sure enough, that's exactly the sons will sit out there and send their wives in, and the daughter-in-law will be so gracious and so kind, and they will tell you like, my mother-in-law is better than my mom, and because of that, the love they had for their mother-in-law was phenomenal, and how they took care of her, how they were want to be the one that give her the bath and all that stuff because of how good she. I think that part of the things that we're doing right here, right now, is surrendering all to God and praying to God that the mate that God has for each and every one of you will be one of those that's going to have not a problem taking care of you in sickness and in health because God is going to handpick that person. I yield my mic, Natasha and Kawana. Anybody else want to share? Feel free.
It's not just you, Shaman. It's us. Include yourself in that. I caught that. But okay. Kawana, if you want to share, please, you're more than free. Or Pastor Ruth or anyone.
Hi, everyone. Oh, another good topic. And I can't help but think about why I think I'm going to coin it, why the process is so important, why it's so critical. Because I am not looking, I am talking about me, I am not seeking everything that I want because I know whatever I want isn't going to equate to everything that God knows already what I need. And I know that I want what God has for me. And that includes not mine, but it includes God's needs for me to be the woman of God, the daughter that He's calling me to be, the wife He's preparing and calling me to be. And then in that, I am fully comfortable and confident that God knows the desires of my heart. For me, the biggest the biggest part of this period of singleness for me is to not, not think about the now and not think about the short term. I am thinking, how will my children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, great 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 grandchildren, how will my family's legacy remember and look back on the woman that I was while I was here? And it has so much to do with who I'm married to, the decisions that I make, and what did I leave for them? What did I leave for them? I am a collector of photos, and I collect photos. I was never really big on them, but when the Lord blessed me with not one but two, two children at the same time, oh, did that straighten me up in my seat? It just did, because to hear and I still feel like a first time mother because my sons are the only two children that I have. So my first time carrying and first time delivering, I am still a first time mother because I only went through it once. I just happen to have two children. And that really straightened me up in my seat. Straightened me up in my seat because I know that God did that specifically. He has such a major calling on their lives. And he did that. He didn't do that to anybody else at the time in my family. And I could it just points to legacy. But if I rewind, if I reel line back to where I am today, I'm so cognizant about how I am praying and, and receiving, information and direction from God. And I am not kidding around with this. I just feel as though I did what I did prior to me getting to this point. And what I did before in my selection process was everything under the moon, not the sun. And everything under the moon was so, um, it just didn't serve me. And I needed to do that. But I too am looking forward to someone who's going to not only view me as his wife and his partner, his I would also pray that he would view me as the person that God has created the eternal while we're here anyway. So I'll say while we're here on earth. But that togetherness, that oneness is the word that I am looking for, the oneness. That he would view me as that he would treat me the way that God is viewing me and treating me, or he's going to try. He's never going to be God, but he sees me the way that Jesus sees his bride. So when I'm sick, when I don't feel well, when I don't have my hair done, comb, type, color, whatever, I'm super feminine, super feminine. I'm not a little, I'm super. So when I have a moment when I am not feeling well and I am just not able to do those things, or what if I need to take a moment, um, and I need that time to myself with God. I know that I need a gentleman that has the strength, that has the tenacity, that has the to not just look at me as this person being and he has to check off a box and do. He needs to take himself to God and he needs to say, God, can you help me treat your daughter well? Help me to take care of her well, the way you want me to. And I pray that he listens to me, but I pray he would go to God first. And I know that what I am seeing today, none of this is easy in this selection process. It's really, really tough because folks get a little offended when you ask them about their faith so early on. And not only do they get offended, but at the same time, they feel as though it is and I let people know, like, I am not judging. It is just a yes or no answer. And I need to know because I have already gone down the path where I put that question last about someone's faith, and then it did nothing but really reveal itself in a really ugly way later. And this is 6 months, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, where we didn't really focus on faith. And when you think about why it's so important to focus on your morals and values up front, it is for that reason. You are thinking ahead. You are thinking about, for me, I'm thinking about my legacy. I'm thinking about building. That's huge. Also, building a home, building a family. How are we going to, oh my gosh, how are we, my husband and I, how are we going to serve God? Because that's important to me, and whatever that looks like. No, we don't have a volunteer event. We don't have to attend every church event. But whatever it is for me and my husband, I want us to have that understanding that that's important. And that could be something as little as once a year, maybe we create some type of charity or some type of ministry, and maybe we have an event once a year. Whatever it is, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I know that's what I need. It may not be necessarily what I want, but I need what God has already said about me. I know that I am his daughter and I don't want anything less than what he wants from me. So anyway, that was a long answer. I'm gonna go back on mute. So thank you all for letting me share. I love you.
Love you too, Kawana. And that was a lot. I'm trying to see which part I'm trying to pull out. But we have Jackie on. She's on Facebook. I'm trying to see. It wasn't working for Shaman earlier today. I'm trying to see if it's working for Jackie. Let me see if we can hear you, Jackie. We can. Go ahead. Try Clubhouse now.
So I'm
You just so far.
I wasn't. Okay, so I missed. As I'm looking or listening to what mentioned, I can totally commend her for being able to just, oh, hey, do you believe in Jesus? You what? You know what I'm saying? Like that is like so cool. I think that what I usually do, I think what I usually do,
We can't hear you. Oh, I gotta keep on going now. I can't hear you at all. Oh, that means I gotta talk now. Wait. Oh, okay. Let's see.
okay. So that might be it. Is that better? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so okay, I don't know whether okay. Okay, so let me keep talking. I think I might be all right. Okay. So yeah, so I love Kawana's method. Okay. But I will say what I usually do is usually between the first and second conversation, I'm bringing out enough to where I can find out, right? Whether they are believers or what the case may be. They can't talk to me but for so long and not realize that, I just love it. It's going to come out and something, hallelujah, or something, you're going to an idea that I love Jesus, right? So it may be something in the conversation that I'm sharing, or I may say, you know, so where do you worship? Um, do you like getting your praise on? you know, so it totally depends. It is definitely going to come out because I need to know, right? We are not trying to waste time. It might even be so hey, you know what? Let me say a prayer for you. Oh, you know what? That just wow. Can I pray for you? Would you like to pray for me now? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we are going to find out. Do you understand me? We are going to figure it out. It is not going to take long. I have, like Wanda mentioned, I have had experience there. I didn't do that, and I actually got into relationships where even though I knew somebody who made it really plain at the beginning, yeah, I'm a little nervous about about the word. You know what I'm saying? So that's a sign. That's a little bit of a burgundy flag, you know. Um, but I since then have learned that guess what? There is no compromising. Like this is who I am. This is what I need, and it has to be for me, right? I wish you the best. I'm going to pray for. I wish you the best, but I definitely need that in my life. You know. So yeah. So no, I'm not at the. You know, hey, do you know Jesus? How are you today? But I am definitely going to find out. But hey, we all got our own. We got our own methods. Whatever works for us. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever works. So I can appreciate all methods. Okay, just find out. Okay, just find out. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic.
I need Kawana to teach a lesson on. Hi, my name is. Are you saved? That's a whole lesson. But tonight we're talking about one part of the vows in sickness and in health. A lot of people don't consideration um the sickness part, and everybody thinks about it. But illness comes in different ways. So we talked about what happens if it comes like Alzheimer's and dementia. And Shaman had brought up what she has seen in um, in her line of work. I brought up the movie The Notebook and how that kind of love that'll that'll cross over even if I don't remember you. Um, the thought of the mention of your name will trigger a memory and will cause me to come back, even if it's for a couple of minutes, right? So, we have a very close family friend. Been friends with my grandmother for about 50 years, and her husband passed away, and you could tell she's in stages. I don't know the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia, so excuse my ignorance. Um, but she has great loss of memory. She'll flat out tell you, she's like, I don't remember, right? Like she'll just tell you, I don't remember. Mention her late husband, she can recall every story from when they first met, all the way till he passed away. And this is over a 50 plus year, this half a century span. She can recall everything pertaining to him, everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, besides Jesus, because you talk about church, she could spit it back at you too. But when you talk about where did you put your phone, she's like, I don't remember. What did you eat yesterday? I don't remember. I should just flat out tell you, I don't remember what I ate. I don't even remember if I like it. But you mentioned Jesus and you mentioned her late not ex, her late husband. Everything come back. Those two things she'll remember clear. I think fashion too. She'll tell you if you don't look right, and she'll tell you if she likes her outfit or not. But um, it's where your heart is, right? So her heart loves Jesus so much that it'll bring her back, and her heart loved her husband so much that it'll bring her back. And I'm just saying that's the kind of love I want. This is just Taja dealing with 2 3 weeks worth of sickness, and I had some time to sit and think about how I don't want to go through sickness, single no more. I'm sick of it and I'm over it. So that's what put in sickness and in health. So that was the topic for today, Jackie. Just in case uh, you wanted to chime in on that, Simone, or anybody else wants to chime
I'm done chiming in, but I'm saying, you know, dementia is a type of Alzheimer's because there's all different types that impact memory and cognitive functioning. But in any case, I think in any type of sickness, you want somebody to be able to be there for you to support you, um, and that person have the capacity or the compassion to be there and to support you. So I think that's important to you want that. You you want to pray for that. You want to make sure that that person is able to be there for you in sickness and in health, and that you be there. Because I saw a TikTok video the other day. She said, if you're gonna pick somebody that's willing to be with you in the long haul in the 60s and the 70s. Don't try to pick somebody that probably gonna look at you like, I didn't sign up for this. So, and that's the gist of the conversation, that we want to pick somebody that's that's as deep as as the ocean, in terms of their love, but not as shallow as a plate. So because whatever you put into, that's what you're not gonna get. And I say all this to say that it is important of winning out is rooted is in Christ, so that Christ could guide us in how to navigate that relationship, and that God is the one leading us to be able to find that person who understands for better and for worse. And I'll give you an example of one of my friends, and her anniversary is happened to be this month. So she met her husband online, and they're connected. They went out on a few dates, and she was like, he's not what I was looking for. It's not the type she was looking. But she said, she prayed on it, and she was praying, and he was praying as well. And then on their third date, and he said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the app because I found the one that God told me to marry. And she's like, okay, but in the meantime, I'm still gonna go ahead and date, because she was still, whatever. So, date 6 months later, they're still they're like decided that they're gonna be all all inclusive, and they're serious. They started to meet each other's families and all that stuff. And so anyway, they of course they're always based on their relationship in Christ. They started going to church together. Um, he's in a choir of his church, and she's in a choir of the church. They really started connecting. At that point, they were discussing which church we were going to go to. So since he's in, I'm in Maryland, so he's in Baltimore, she's in the Savage area, they decided that they'll go to his church, because they were going to move closer. 2 years into the relationship, because I went to the wedding. Um, 2 years in, we went to the process. That was my walking money buddy. And then having cancer. Well, let me go back the story. She had cancer before she started going out with him. She just said she wanted to be married, and she know God said it was okay for her to be married, and she whatever. Cancer was in remission. She's good. We're good. We're back to money. We're going through. So we've been friends for a while. She met him. They connect. 2 years into the marriage, the cancer came back, and this time this cancer came back like a savage. And he's like, pray for my wife. And at this point, he's connected to all of us. Like, pray for my wife. We have. Can I say this? He took care of her. He would get up in the night when she's in pain. He would sing to her. And he would sing to Lisa with such passion to calm her, because sometimes the cancer has metastasized and the pain medication wasn't working, but the singing would soothe her soul, and she would just go to sleep. So, and toward the end, he said, I believe God wanted me to meet with you so I could take care of you in this last day. My friend Lisa passed. He took care of her. I mean, like, really, she liked fresh flowers once a week. He was bringing fresh flower to her, because as he would comb her hair and, brush her hair. Like, really, really, really. And we really believed that he met her just for such a time, for that time. And it was such a beautiful thing to see how he took care of her. And she passed on, and he's like, he said he don't want to be married again, but he did what he was supposed to do. And at her funeral, he sung her favorite song for her, and it was like I just knew God brought us together, the love of my life, just so I could be with her for that, even though it was short. Wasn't that a beautiful story? It was so amazing to see how much um, what God is able to do. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we ask or imagine. So I do believe the Lord is going to bless you with the right person that's going to love you and love you to such capacity that you don't even have to worry about it. That's all I have to say. And I'll send you a picture of my friend Lisa, um, and just to show you how just amazing that he loved her. Anyway, you're my mic.
That was beautiful. I think about like when I'm sick, I'm like a baby, right? I am like such a baby. I just want to lay out. she, she would laugh. Gosh, you're such a mess. When you're sick, you act like you just didn't do it. You just get into a thing, because like her, she'll have pneumonia, COVID, and it's just a part of it. And she will keep going. She will. She will go to work. She will do laundry, you name it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, not me, just give me a good bed and somebody please come take care of me. So I pray, my God, I pray. And then I wonder like how well will I do with him because I'm so worried about getting germs. And, like I need my mask. I need like, I need my mask. I need some scrubs on. Because I can't afford. I can't afford to get sick, right? So I just pray, and that God gives me exactly what I need, in my spirit to be able to care for and God that He's sending my way. Amen. Because I sure definitely will care for me. Okay, that part. So, woo. Yes. Amen. I know my way.
I can't with Jackie tonight. She said God gonna have to give her the wherewithal so she don't need no scrubs and a mask for her husband. Let me tell you though, during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, I know a lot of couples when one person caught COVID, they refused to be quarantined, separated from their spouse. So they were willing to stay in the same room, in the same bed with their spouse to help take care of them. They was like, well, if you in it, I'm in it with you. Now, that's a certain kind of love that only God can give. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm, I, th- I think I'm that chick though. I should have put a thumbs down. Like, no. Oh, knowing me, honestly, knowing me, yeah, I would be that. That's Tasha though. That's not everybody. Probably not even wisdom, but that's it's not. 'Cause you got COVID. How am I gonna take care of you if we both got COVID? But that's not. I mean, that's Tasha. It's nobody else. Everybody do it. It won't do. Um, yeah, I don't think I have much else to say tonight. Because right now, I'm still fighting whatever it is I got. That's why my voice so deep. That's why my nose so stuffy. But if anybody want to say anything else, because I'm trying to make sure Kawana said mask and scrubs for me, and I'll still take care of my husband. Oh,
It is not wisdom for both of us to be sick. I'm with you, Jackie. I'm gonna create low. I'm gonna learn how to cut through a door just to send you your food past the window. Get the.
y'all not
Not
gonna
that
make me
one.
choke here tonight by laughing so hard,
I am
okay?
not that one. I'll be right with you outside. You want me to get you an aid? You don't have the money? I will work an extra job. Help you get the care you need. I'm not coming out there. There's no need for both of us to be sick. That's wisdom. Somebody gotta.
You're not gonna make me cough up a lung tonight, okay? You're not gonna do this.
Somebody.
Husband, I'm sick. Come take care of me. Come now, please. Thank you. Do it, Jesus. Oh, I'm over this. I'm done. Oh, yes. I'm ready to go back to sleep. Oh, but this, oh, the reason why sickness and health came up tonight is because that's what I've been dealing with for the past 2, 3 weeks. Sickness and health. So it really made me think. Oh, in my screening process, besides him having to know Jesus, like Kawana is so fierce with um her screening process. I've lately really been thinking about when, like, very long term, like down the road, are you gonna be the type to be able to trust to take me? Like, do I think that if something happens to me, even if you, sir, can't do it, will you at least have enough sense, enough wherewithal to reach out and get somebody that can help with the situation? Because everybody not in the medicine, in the medical field, but everybody knows somebody. 6 degrees of separation. Everybody knows somebody. You got Google. You got the internet. You got something that can make sense. But can you do all that you can do to make sure that I'm okay? Because I know I'm gonna do all I can do to make sure that you're okay. So that's another part of the screening process for me. I guess the Lord will take that you're going through and help them act right and help you in your screening process with your future kingdom spouse. But I'm done. If anybody wants to say anything else and close out, more than
Just, I guess, just to close, I guess that's again where the communication comes in, and hopefully we'll be able to do a great deal of that communicating prior to. Um, this is probably not a point that we would consider initially, like I get sick, but it could be, you know, um, it definitely. Um, some things we won't know until we're actually in the situation. But I think we should get a good idea, you know,
crawling below and can't breathe. I'm gonna heal my mic because I'm really feeling like acting up a lot tonight. But definitely communication is very important, and so um, we must have those conversations. But
No, Jackie, can you pray us out?
man, so Father, we thank you and praise you for what you've done, what you're doing in our lives. We thank you for this conversation. We thank you for this podcast. We thank you, God, that you are allowing us to become equipped to have purposeful kingdom marriages. Thank you for the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. Thank you for those who join us who are married, those who are looking to be married. We ask that you continue to speak to us and guide us along this path. And Lord, let this reach those who you desire to reach. And so we say thank you as we leave this call. God, we will continue to trust you in this process. And so we say, again, thank you. Have your way. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. You can catch us here tomorrow morning, 15, right? Or 8:30. 8:30. Kingdom Focus Bible Study. Preferably join us on Facebook and or YouTube on the New Kingdom Marriage. And what's tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow night at 8:30. Also, we will be back as we praise, prepare, and pray for our new kingdom spouse. Y'all forgive me. I still don't feel good. So we love you all. Thank you, Shaman. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Kawana. It was a few other people on today. And thank you, Rena St. Patrick on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining in. We hope you all enjoyed yourself. We love you all. And we're going to close out in 5, 4, 2, 1. Good night.